Sportsman's Adventures with Captain Rick Murphy, presented by Yamaha.
We are in Central Florida in one of the greatest bass projects of all time, the Stick Marsh. And when you see what the FWC has in store for us, when it comes to bass fishing and a new bass fishing model, you aren't going to believe it.
On today's Sportsman's Adventures, we head to the Stick Marsh just outside of Fellsmere, Florida for a little bass fishing. We'll be with our good friend Tom Champeau from the FWC and Captain Dean Herdman. The Stick Marsh is an old orange grove that was flooded and stocked with bass for a premier catch and release venue.
Come on, give me a little jump.
Florida is known as the bass fishing capital of the world, and today we hope to catch some trophy-sized fish.
Oh, there's a nice fish.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has implemented an aggressive campaign to promote bass fishing through its Trophy Catch program. The state has also established one of the premier restocking programs in the country, and there are plans to continue the program for several years.
Tom. Yep. Atta boy. Atta boy. Yeah. What do you got? What you hook him on, Tom?
I got him.
You got him on the scatter wrap.
The scatter wrap.
So Tom, let me ask you something. You know, this business model, the Stick Marsh, has been very, very successful for the recreational fishermen. It's all catch and release. Mm-hmm. Does the FWC have any future plans for any other places like this?
Yeah, we do. Right next door here is the Fellsmere reservoir, and it's bigger than Stick Marsh, and it's due to be flooded in 2015 this year, and we'll probably open up the fishing within a couple of years of that, and it's going to be fantastic. It'll be like this, but it's even larger in size, and we've done some enhancements to the lake bottom, so it'll have more structure, and it'll be awesome. It'll be incredible.
So as part of that project, does that also mean that you guys will stock the lake using some of your hatchery fish as well? Yeah,
we have done some stocking, because even though it's not open yet, it has filled up somewhat, and we've stocked those open areas, and we'll do some more stocking. We'll probably put in over 1 million bass from our hatchery up in Sumter County. And,
now, what size bass would you put in there typically?
We'll put fingerlings in, because this is new water and newly expanded water, so fingerlings do really well in that kind of situation.
Wow. Man, I can't wait to fish that one.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
We're going to set a date for 2018 to go in there and do a little prospecting.
That's right.
Gotta go in the way back. Come here, little man. Come here. Come to see me. Looks like a grouper, just smaller. Right, Tom?
Grouper bait.
That's it. I love it. The first fish I ever caught, ever, was a bass.
Yeah?
Holiday Park. My mother was a bookkeeper for the guy that owned Holiday Park. So she would have to go out there and do the books like once a month, and what they would do, there was a little guy about 3 years old. She'd put me with one of the employees, and then we'd go out there with a Zebco 202, which I think was everybody's first rod and reel combo. And sure enough, Tom, I was pushed through it out with push button, a little bobber, and he says when the bobber goes down, just start reeling. Well, the bobber went down, I started reeling. A little bass about half this size came up jumping, and I got scared, and I turned and ran up the bank with the rod over my back and dragged the fish right up the grass. So they kind of have a cool place in my heart, you know?
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Yamaha. Reliability starts here. FWC. the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Williamson Lures for the pelagic playground. Maverick Boat Company, makers of premium boat brands, Maverick, Hughes, and Pathfinder. Humminbird, simply, clearly, better. The Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. And Rapala, catch the latest at Rapala.com.
It's 200 streamlined horsepower of Yamaha forward thinking. The all-new F200 inline four-stroke. Whether you're an offshore angler, pontoon cruiser, bay boater, or walleye hunter, the responsive and fuel-efficient F200 combines amazing power and versatility in one incredibly compact and lightweight package. The all-new F200. Legendary Yamaha reliability and the freedom of forward thinking.
Remember the glory days of gasoline? It's just not made the same anymore.
Kick your gas into gear with StarTron. Pump up the performance in all of your engines. Cure the problems of ethanol with the power of enzymes. And maximize your mileage every time you drive. Kickstart your engines with StarTron.
He's fished here for decades. He knows every hump, every drop-off, every contour. He's dedicated his entire life to understanding this single body of water, and he didn't know squat about it until 2 hours ago. AutoChart Live lets you build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Only with Onyx. Only from Humminbird.
It's been said that a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at the office. But down here in the Florida Keys, we have to disagree. Because with over 200 of the world's best charter boat captains and guides, there's no such thing as a bad day of fishing. The Florida Keys and Key West.
Thank you for joining us on Sportsman's Adventures. You can catch all the latest happenings, contests, appearances by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to hook up with Sportsman's Adventures, you can find full episodes of Sportsman's Adventures plus tips and techniques on our YouTube channel. If there's a product that we use during the show that you'd like to know more about, you can find links to our sponsors by heading to sportsmansadventures.com. Today's Costa Cool Place and Moment certainly has to be about shocking here in the Stick Marsh. Now, the thing that was so cool to me is I had heard about how they shock certain areas in certain ponds, but to actually get on the boat with Bob Eisenhower and his assistant was awesome. And the reason why is because I fully got to understand how the whole program works, but more importantly, who can say that they actually put their hands on a 10.5-pound fish with the shocking method? Now, the way that thing works is, I assure you, it doesn't hurt any of the fish. We go along with the net and we're scooping up the fish that have actually been stunned by the electricity going through the water, and they put them in a live well. After putting them in the live well, they let them come back to where they're not shocked anymore. They're in there swimming around with the aeration going on, and then they measure each one of those fish. And that's how a lot of the biologists are able to come up with the healthiness of the lake. Certainly if the fish are skinny per so many inches, then they might have to adjust the way they manage that place. Versus if they're too fat, then there's really no problem with that. But realistically, it was one of the coolest things that I have ever done. And to be able to actually put my hands on a 10.5-pounder because of that method really reassured me in what the FWC is doing in managing a lot of these Great Lakes. Tom, oh, there's a nice fish. We might be into something. They maybe decide to start biting.
Yeah, they're warming up.
He switched to the worm.
He switched to the worm.
That was a worm.
You know what they say in worm fishing?
What's that?
It's all in how you wiggle your worm.
That's right.
It's not about the size, it's how you wiggle it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Tom, can you tell whether this is a male or a female? How would you know?
Well, this time of year, the males, they'll actually start to molt, and you can see the sperm coming out. And so he's just
Thinking about it.
yeah, but not quite ready.
Still early.
Fluff him.
Especially
Oh, that's one,
63.
Rick.
Oh, I got one on here. Man, we in a hot spot. Whoa,
You got you a good one?
come on now.
Triple.
This is what I'm talking about.
It's a triple.
All you gotta do is slow the boat down, Murph dog.
That's right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, that's a good, that's a little better.
Help you up.
Oh yeah, that's a little better fish.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, man. Look at that.
Getting better, getting better. Quality's coming up.
Now let's see. According to the Hummingbird, we're still 63-degree water. So that hasn't changed, but the time of day, maybe we're just getting closer to the moon phase that they want to bite at. You want to test, see what the your new Rapala scale there?
See how to weigh it there.
Go ahead, Tom. Hop in there.
Okay, I'm saying that one is 3 pounds.
A 3-pounder. Okay.
What's a
I'm
guess?
gonna say, yeah, 3's about right. I would think too. That's a man that knows right there. 3.06, not even 3.1.
Let's see how that handheld scale like that, you can keep that in your pocket and always have a weight.
Yeah. Cool.
All right there, Captain.
Hey,
Fat.
you know
that's
the
a
cool
female.
part is,
That's a female.
by the time we get to lunch, that one will be 6 pounds.
There it is. Is that the mama?
It ain't the mama.
There you go, Rick.
Hey, Dino, see what you started?
Haul them in like
Nice.
a pro. There.
Hey, starting to light up a little bit. The artificial's bite's going on. He just caught one there. Just got one on this bass assassin. We can get out of this grass and maybe we can catch them on the hard baits. All right.
I gotta change my hook, that one bent.
So Dean, let me ask you, what's the biggest fish you've ever guided to, bud?
The biggest fish I've guided to, we had an 11.5,
Right?
and then I've the biggest fish myself was a 10.5,
That's nice.
and the
That's
most
super.
fish I ever caught in a day was 125
Really?
by myself, mostly on top water.
Now, where was that at?
That was down by the spillway area where we were
But
earlier.
here in this
Yeah, in this
system.
lake. Yep,
In
absolutely.
the Stick Marsh.
Yep.
That's a huge day.
Oh, it was comical after a while.
I bet. Look at you, throwing the old worm to him. Got the tungsten with a VMC worm hook. I like it. I like it. Now, what kind of plastic is that?
This is a hand poured from a buddy of mine in Indiana.
Nice.
He makes El Grande lures, so they're plastics.
Well, everything went into place except El Grande.
I tried.
You did good. You did good.
He'd like it.
Yeah, man. You know what you gotta like about bass is that their attitude. That bass is the same size as El Grande worm. And he thinks he's a lot bigger than he really is, and that's what's so cool about bass is they'll attack something they think they can eat. They don't care about the size. That might make all bass that are little Murphys. I think that maybe could be the case. They all may be Murphys.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by La Jolla Resort, a place for family and fishermen. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Custom trailer manufacturer Ameritrail. Contender Boats, performance through innovation. Suffix Lines, the world's most hardcore fishing line. VMC, your expert in hooks. Startron, cures and prevents ethanol fuel problems. And there's no stopping Okuma.
You know there's more to it than luck. There's fishing the right bait, the water temperature, the wind, the season, and then there's the boat. We'll put it simply, the boat matters. To own a Contender is to own the best sport fishing boat on the market, period. Contender offers the most comprehensive model range with bigger, faster, and more fuel-efficient boats than the competition. There's only one choice for serious anglers. Contender Boats. Performance through innovation.
Hey, you remember when we were hanging out last night? You know, me, you, Gail.
That's my girl.
You guys are awesome. And then you went to bed.
I was tired.
You were super tired. And then it was just me and Gail.
Mm-hmm.
Alone.
What?
Yeah!
It's all in the paws. New Shadow Wrap from Rapala.
It's been said that a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at the office. But down here in the Florida Keys, we have to disagree. Because with over 200 of the world's best charter boat captains and guides, there's no such thing as a bad day of fishing. The Florida Keys and Key West.
Yamaha's next generation V6 four-strokes are changing the game.
Mid-range power was awesome. Fuel, the burn, it's unbelievable.
Couldn't believe the speed and the fuel economy is pretty impressive.
I mean, I couldn't believe the power. It was like it was more like doing a quarter mile on a drag strip.
And them things are like, it's a whole nother game. So I made the switch.
Experience the difference for yourself during the Yamaha Discover V6 Offshore Demo Tour. See why we call it the game changer.
Chances are you spent a lot of time in the outdoors when you were growing up. Hours spent fishing, hunting, camping, hiking, or simply playing in the outdoors help you get connected with nature. Sadly, today's children are disconnected from nature. They spend nearly 8 hours a day on computers or watching TV while the numbers of kids hunting and fishing continues to decline. That's why the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, together with the Wildlife Foundation of Florida, created the FYCCN, the Florida Youth Conservation Center Networks, to encourage kids to participate in the outdoors. A statewide network of conservation centers, the FYCCN features wild outdoor centers offering deep wood experiences that connect to near outdoor sites in the community where kids live. If you want to help, you can learn more about the great outdoors and become stewards of our precious outdoor heritage. You can help by creating the next generation that cares. Go to fyccn.org to learn more. Man, I might start liking this kind of stuff.
It's like shooting him out of
Any
a barrel.
fish that eats a plug and then comes up jumping, he's already got to step up on most of them, for my opinion. Come on, give me a little jump. Come on, one more. A little more head shaker. I know you got it. Come on, come on. Oh, I'm gonna end up waiting until I get my hand down there and then do that. Yeah, man. Wow. He ate this little scatter wrap 5. Look at it, a little shad color. Hey!
Look at there.
They finally got him to eat the scatter wrap. Crazy fish.
All right.
He's on a run, huh?
It's a little guy.
Yeah, all right.
Watch those treble hooks, Tom. Hey, it looks like what they're eating, doesn't it?
It's a shad. It's a threadfin shad. This lake's full of these fish. And about this size.
Let me get my pliers for you.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
That's a man who's taken a few treble hooks out of some fish in his day. Well, look at that.
See, that's
Why?
a shallow running, perfect for these conditions. So.
It's called a scatter wrap.
All right.
Nice.
Chunky.
Yeah, man.
Good job.
Go back and tell your granddaddy I'm in town.
Trophy Catch is an FWC program designed to promote and conserve our largemouth bass fisheries by recruiting anglers to provide data on all their fish they catch that are 8 pounds and above. It provides our scientists with important information how to better manage and conserve these fish while being a great way to promote the fishery. Weekend anglers, private ponds, public ponds, any water body in Florida is eligible. It's really important that we get a series of pictures that shows that fish on the scale where we can see the numbers. And they can also show them holding the fish and smiling with their family. That's great too. But the key picture is that one. After the season ends in September, end of September, we do a random drawing for a bass boat that is fully rigged, boat, motor, trailer. And anybody who registers for Trophy Catch is eligible for that random drawing.
We're in a hot spot now. Don't move, boys. Don't move.
Not a very big one. They're feisty. It don't matter whether they're
cold
big
water.
here, boy. They're
Cold
feisty
water.
fish.
There we go. There we go. So Tom, you know, without getting into all the big prizes, some of the other prizes that we have with Trophy Catch, what are the smaller ones? You know, people think that if you don't win, you're not going to win the boat, or you know how they think. But what else can you win by just registering and entering fish?
Well, for the smaller, 8 pound to 9 pound, that's worth $150. That whole package is $150. Part of it is gift cards. We give gift cards with Rapala, and we also have some Navionics is another one of our partners that people can get stuff from. Bass Pro Shops and others. So
you get a T-shirt.
T-shirt. So that's it's a nice package. $150 for 8 and then from 10 to 12 pounds, it gets up to about $200, and then over 13, it can be over $1,000. So
oh my goodness! Come on, 13, baby.
Yeah.
I can't play though, cause I'm kind of.
You can't? What?
I don't. You mean you'll let me play if I catch one?
Sure.
Cool.
Everybody except for a FWC employee. Unfortunately, nobody in the FWC can win anything with this.
Well,
because it's our
with
program.
my sponsorship, so I'm still allowed.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Hey,
there you go.
Let's think big. We got to think really big. That's what I want. So, I want grouper-sized bass.
Ooh, I got a bite.
That's a good one, Dean. Yeah.
There you go. Nice job.
That's a baby.
Yeah, buddy.
How about it?
Yep, the Fat Cinco.
Tequila Cinco. All right, good job.
Nice.
What are we gonna? What do you think he weighs there?
Let me see.
Bass man, Mr. Tom.
I think he's gonna miss. It's a 7.
Yeah, I'd say.
I'm gonna say
6. I'm a 6.
5.80. No, 89.
I think the price is right, bro.
5.89. I'm trying to not go over. Okay. You go over, you lose. You know?
I know.
That's right. You gotta go home.
5.89 is what the saltwater guy said.
Wow, pretty close, Bubba.
I went over.
5.45. Yeah, I did too.
Dang, he's skinny.
Yeah, a little skinny.
I know what we need to do
Big
with him.
jaws on that one.
We need to give him a kiss like old Jimmy Houston.
You can almost fit your head in his mouth.
Yeah. What a cool fish. Do that again, Dean.
Nice one, Dean.
That's why we stayed out here till dark.
It was a great day of fishing for one of Florida's premier species. We didn't catch a true trophy-sized fish, but we had plenty of action. The programs the state of Florida have implemented will ensure that trophy bass will be around for generations to come. Keep up with the latest Sportsman's Adventures news and events by logging into our website at sportsmansadventures.com and following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thanks for watching this 2015 season of Sportsman's Adventures. And we take a lot of pride in teaching you guys how to catch big fish and a variety of different fish. And that's why you see marlin shows as well as bass shows, and obviously tarpon and redfish. But more importantly, if you miss any episodes of Sportsman's Adventures, make sure you catch them on our website. With all that said, we really appreciate you watching, and thank you again for making this year a great Sportsman's Adventure.